Hey guys, today I'm going to be playing some Dungeons and Dragons skirmishes, and it's not DDM and it's not Onslaught. It's basically my own version of a D&D miniatures game. It uses a lot of the aspects of the DDM game, uh, along with some Song and Blades of Heroes rules for simplicity. The point of this game is to use your damn miniatures. Most of the time we buy tons and tons of this plastic and it gets put in containers or put on your shelves and you never even get to play with them. So I sort of threw together a Frankenstein of rules here because I love miniatures games and I love Dungeons and Dragons, and I think that's why I liked 4th edition D&D so much. And so I just want something simple and fun and quick to play and to be able to use my miniatures. So let's take a look at our little war bands. First off, on the right hand side over here, we have an adventuring party. On the left hand side, we have what's left of a dwarven or a drow warband. Basically, both of these, there's been like these battles going through these ruins in the Underdark. And this is what's left of this group, and this is what's left of this group, and they've met in this room because you might be able to see all these corpses around here. There's been an artifact that's left behind, and it's on one of these corpses, and neither group knows where it's at. The point is, they have to obtain the artifact by searching the dead body. I roll a 6-sided, and on a 6, the body contains the artifact, and then they have to get off the board. This group has to get off to the edge over there, and this group, if they find it, they have to get up here and off the edge. So let's take a look at our cards. These are from DDM, which is the Dungeons and Dragons miniatures game, the original one. There's a 3rd and a 4th edition version of it. The 4th edition version of the game is far superior, and it's still played today. So that's what we're going to be using. Over here, we've got a Drow Spider Priestess. She's got a bunch of abilities there. I'm not going to read them until we get to it in the game. I've got a Drow Wand Mage and a Drow Assassin. Over on this side, we've got a Human Fighter. We've got a Dwarf Sniper. We've got an Owlbear Rager. And the Human Fighter has a healing potion. Let's take a quick look at the warband here. There's the Owlbear, the Dwarf Sniper, and the Human Fighter. Over on this side, we've got our Priestess. She's down there in the blue. We have our Wand Mage over here in the middle, and then we have our Assassin down on the end. Okay, so we're going to start off with some initiative. The Drow Warband has a champion in their ranks. So they get to roll twice and take the higher. So they're the black dice. Let's see, we got a 7, we got an 11, so the Drow is going to take the win. So whoever wins initiative gets to decide who goes first. Whoever goes first in the initiative round goes once, and then the second person goes twice, and then everybody uses 2 miniatures until they get through the warband. But I think since the Drow are pretty greedy... Oh no, that sounds racist. But they're going to go first. And I think our Drow Assassin is going to go over here and search this body. Just so you guys know, throughout the game, I pre-measure everything. So I don't have to do it on camera. And I've already measured. And this Drow is going to go right over here and search that body. On the roll of a 6, he finds the artifact. That's a 4. So what we're going to do is just get rid of that body, and he doesn't find the artifact. Tapped the card there just so we know that the assassin already went. We're going to start off on the Hero Warband with the Dwarf Sniper using a double move to get over to this body. He's going to check the body. He gets a 6. He does find the artifact. Sweet. So we're just going to place this right under his miniature right there so we know that he's got the artifact. I'm going to roll and see what the artifact is. So I rolled on all the charts for Song of Blades and Heroes, and the dwarf gets a Vorpal Axe. So I'm just kind of winging the rules on this one because it's a little bit different in Song of Blades and Heroes. But we're going to say an 18 through 20 cuts the head off. And so I've removed all the bodies from the battlefield because they're kind of irrelevant at this point. we are over to the fighter. Actually, I've elected to go with the owlbear because we're gonna want to be protecting him now that he has the artifact. And the owlbear is gonna move this way and jump down from here and come over to about right here. So the wand mage is gonna move up to this doorway right here, and he's gonna do a wand blast attack on the owlbear. It's a plus 13 versus the owlbear's reflex. A 22 versus the 17 reflex of the owlbear blasts the owlbear. 20 damage. Our Drow Priestess is gonna move up and over and get behind this brazier. So fighter is gonna double move down here and get up here to protect the dwarf. All right, initiative. We got a 19 and an 8. Drow win again. So the Drow Assassin is gonna use Sniper's Fang. It's +9 and then 5 damage and 5 ongoing poison. I think they're gonna kind of hang loose and see what these guys do over here. So the Drow Assassin here is gonna take a shot over at the owlbear. I need a 14 or better. That's a 10, that's a miss. Owlbear sees this thing fire a crossbow at him, sort of rages and double moves up to here. Sniper with the artifact moves down here. So our priestess is gonna move all the way up and through here so she can see the fighter over there. She's gonna use her Thunderburst spell against the fighter. She needs an 8 or above. Oh, she gets a 7 and misses. Our wand mage is gonna double move all the way up here and come and help the assassin. Our fighter is gonna climb up over this little wall right here and end up right in front of the priestess, and he's gonna hack with the greatsword. All right, he needs an 11 or above. 16, that's a hit. So the priestess has conceal 6, which means I have to make a second roll and get over 6 in order to hit her. And does. 15 damage to the priestess. Initiative. Drow win again with a 16. Now, I don't know if moving the wand mage into combat with the owlbear was the best idea, but he's gonna shift over here so they can get combat advantage on this thing, and he's gonna make an attack with his dagger. He needs an 8 or over. Gets a 20. Does double damage to the owlbear with the dagger, sticks it in the back, and does 20 damage. The owlbear is bloodied. He's also going to use his champion power. That means that critical hits are 16 to 20 if a creature's bloodied. Maybe it was a good idea to move him into combat. Human fighter is going to attack the priestess. He needs 11 or over, and he gets a 1. So the dwarf sniper is going to try to be a little sneaky. He's going to move up to here, and his second move is going to put him right about there. He is just about out of here. The drow are screaming at the top of their lungs to get him. And so the assassin is going to move over here and engage with him. That's going to give him an opportunity attack from the owlbear. The owlbear needs a 6 or above. Oh, and he misses with the ripping beak. So the drow slinks away and gets over there and locks up with the dwarf who's holding the artifact, and he's gonna make an attack with his short sword. The assassin needs a 16 or above to hit with the short sword, and he's gonna miss the dwarf. So the priestess is gonna give the fighter Aura of Doom, which gives him -2 to his attacks, and she's gonna do a wounding touch on him. So the wounding touch hits with a 19. There might be a little bit of a mess up in the video right there. 15 necrotic damage to the fighter. The owlbear is gonna turn around and face up with the mage, and he's gonna do Rending Grab. The owlbear needs a 14 for the Rending Grab and gets a 15. 10 damage to the wand mage, but there's a follow-up attack as well. So for the second part of the Rending Grab, same thing, I need over 14, and that's a miss. That would have immobilized the wand mage, so I could have did a bear hug. All right, initiative. Drow get a 6. Sorry if these are a little shiny, it's from the light above. But the heroes actually win this time. So the dwarf sniper pulls out the Vorpal axe. Anyways, Vorpal axe, he needs a 6 or above to hit, and on a 16 or 20, cuts the head off. That's just a regular hit. 15 damage to the assassin, and he's actually almost dead. He only has 20 hit points. Can't really use too many of the Drow assassin's abilities. Some of them are ranged, and one of them's hide, and you need cover for that, ranged cover. So yeah, he's gonna use his short sword attack on the dwarf. He needs a 16 or above. Miss. So the Drow are in desperate need to stop the sniper from getting out of here. So the priestess, who has plenty of hit points, is going to move over here to get combat advantage on the dwarf. The fighter gets a free attack, but he's at -2. Fighter needs a 14. Gets a 16. That's a hit on the priestess. Fighter has to roll over 6 for her concealment. Actually, it's over 8 because he's -2. I think. I don't know about that. We'll just do the concealed. Yep, he gets the hit. She's at 30 damage. Priestess, wounding touch with combat advantage against the dwarf. That means she has +16. She needs 6 or above. Freaking 5. Wand Mage is waiting for this owlbear to miss so he can teleport away. So he's just going to take another dagger stab. He has his champion power on. So at 16 through 20, it's another critical. Let's do it. 13. He needed an 8 or above, so he hits and does another 10 damage to the owlbear. Owlbear has total of 50 damage of his 75 hit points. Human fighter moves up with his -2, but he has +2 for the combat advantage, being on the other side with the dwarf. He needs 11 or above with his greatsword. That's a miss. Owlbear is going to use his ripping beak, but he gets +5 damage because he's bloodied. All right, he needs a 9 or above. He gets it. 20 damage to the Wand Mage, who now has a total of 30 damage. And he's bloodied. Initiative. Drow win again. This dwarf has no hit points gone, and he has the artifact, so that's not good for the Drow. But the assassin now gets sneak attack because those two have combat advantage over him by flanking. So he'll get to do some extra damage on the attack with his short sword. He needs a 16 or above. That's a miss. Dwarf is going to bust out the Vorpal axe. Come on, I really want him to cut this dude's head off. Now the dwarf only needs 6 or above to hit, but 18 through 20, we cut that head off. That's a 2, that's a miss. Human fighter is going to do the death blow from behind on the priestess. He needs an 11 or above. And he gets a 5. Look at all these misses. The owlbear's getting some extra damage because he's bloodied, but he can't really use his special attacks because this guy is still next to him. He needs to get away from him. I'm trying to debate just moving away so I get a power back, but then I'm going to take more damage and he's already really hurt. So I think he's just going to do the ripping beak again. Ripping beak needs a 9 or above. An 8. But that miss is good news for the owlbear and for the Wand Mage, because whenever the Wand Mage is missed by an attack, he can teleport away. And he is going to, that way he can use some of his better stuff. So he's going to teleport back here. The bad part about that for the Drow is that recharges his rending grab. The priestess is going to do Spider Fang touch against the dwarf to try to get some ongoing damage. So that's going after the dwarf's fortitude, which is better than trying to hit his armor class. Priestess needs a 6 or above. Yeah, finally. 10 damage, 10 ongoing damage to the dwarf sniper. And we mark that with a little marker here so we remember. So that's the end of that round. And since it's the end of the round, the dwarf gets to make a save versus poison versus the ongoing. He needs a 10 or above to end that poison. And he doesn't. So we're real close to the end. The dwarfs just got to get to that bridge right there. We got initiative. The drow win again. The assassin, who is still using his sneak attack, he needs a 16 or above. Nope, he can't hit ever. Dwarf sniper, come on, baby. Vorpal axe, you need a 6 or above to hit, but a 18 through 20 to cut his head off. 1! Dwarf also takes 10 damage, 10 ongoing poison damage. And I forgot, the dwarf should have -2, so he would need 8 or above because of the aura of the priestess right there. All right, fighter, great sword against the priestess. Needs a 13 or above. Jeez. Also, I just noticed there's a lot of little rules, and it's okay if you miss them. This is just for fun. It doesn't even matter. But when somebody in the aura of the priestess here makes an ongoing saving throw, she has an ability where they have to roll twice and take the lower, so basically disadvantage. So priestess, wounding touch against the dwarf. She has combat advantage, so that's +2. She only needs a 4 or above. An 11. I should have rolled that with the black dice, but I'm at the point where I don't care. Hit. That's 15 necrotic damage. Our dwarf is bloodied. So the wand mage has a pretty good idea and is going to move about right here, looking at this group over there, and he's going to do Icy Ray. Make 3 attacks, each against a different target. So obviously he's going to target the fighter and the dwarf sniper. I'll have to look up if you can target combat participants with spells, but it says choose 3, so whatever, I'm just having fun. So yeah, we're shooting into this, and I think it'll be fun and interesting. So the one against the dwarf sniper needs an 11 or above. Of course, gets a 2 and misses. The one versus the fighter needs a 10 or above and gets a 1. This owlbear just runs up and does rending grab on this thing. Needs a 14 or above. Gets a 4. These might be the worst group of warbands in the history of wargaming. All right, initiative. Okay, so the adventurers finally win this one, but because of the champion power, they get to reroll, and they take it. Assassin. Short sword. Needs a 16 and misses. All right, since the dwarf has the -2 from the priestess, he still only needs an 8 or above. But an 18 through 20, he's going to cut that head off. Come on. 15 is going to be a hit. 15 damage, and the assassin's dead. The dwarf is also going to take ongoing 10. So he is at 45 damage. He's got 5 hit points left. Ooh, he's got to make a saving throw right now to see if he can get that poison off. Otherwise, hell, the poison will kill him next round. He needs a 10 or above. No, it doesn't go off. He's going to die next round. Priestess is going to do a wounding touch and try to kill the dwarf. She only needs a 6 or above. She rolls a 1. Our wand mage is going to activate a second and final champion power to try to get a critical hit on this thing. He's going to use his dagger. So he needs an 8 or above, but on a 16 through 20, it's a critical. Are you freaking kidding me? Tiamat needs to just come through here and just wipe all these losers out. Human fighter going to stab in the back this priestess. They got combat advantage, so that cancels out the -2. He needs an 11 or above, and he gets a 14. That's a hit. Another 15 damage to the spider priestess. She's still doing all right. Owlbear, ripping beak, needs a 9. Hit. 15 damage to the wand mage. That's actually enough to kill the wand mage. The owlbear kills the wand mage. All right, initiative. That's a tie. And the draw win again. She is going to once and for all try to kill the sniper. She needs a 6 or above wounding touch. She rolls a 1. Okay, so I don't have time to look up when exactly you apply the ongoing damage. I just know that the dwarf gets it on his turn. I'll have to look this up later. I have a busy day ahead of me, so I'm going to have the dwarf move. Now that he has a clear path to the bridge, he can definitely make it to the bridge. He's going to get 1 opportunity attack from the drow. Okay? And so if the drow misses, he will make it to the bridge, but he will die. But it doesn't matter. He'll die from the ongoing poison, but all they had to do is make it to the bridge. So it'll be an interesting ending. Drow Priestess needs 6 or above for her wounding touch. How many 1s is this thing gonna roll? On the Fortunately for the dwarf, he makes it all the way over to the bridge, and as soon as he does, he collapses and dies. But the hero Warband wins the game. And so that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed just a little bit of fun. And little games like this, little skirmish and little war games like this, make it so you can pull out some of those really cool old miniatures. They've got stats for almost everything. Yeah, get your minis out and play with yourself. See ya.